Good morning, everyone. So, a friend of mine asked a really good question at Goat Days over the weekend about biosecurity on the farm. What kind of measures can we take to help prevent spread of diseases between herds? And it was a really great question, which the vet started to answer, and then we all got sidetracked and we kind of went off on a different tangent. So I did want to touch on it. I'm not a vet, but I feel like I can offer some guidance to what I do and to help reduce transmission of things from farm to farm and at shows and whatever. So let's start off with a basic definition, and it's called fomites. F-O-M-I-T-E. Well, it's fomite is singular. Fomites, plural. It's a noun. It means objects or materials which are likely to carry infection, such as clothes, utensils, or furniture. Clothes, we all understand. Utensils may sound like a household term, but when we think of our goats, utensils can be feeders, waterers, buckets. And then when you think the word furniture, that kind of gets a little crazy too, but in goats we translate that to milk stands, horse trailers, trucks. Here's a really big fomite right here, my truck. So we have to think really broad when we think of biosecurity. It's not just washing our hands or dipping our boots. So this is the front of my property, and I have a friend who helps with my chores, and she's also got her own goats. So we established a protocol on my farm, very small farm, to help prevent any spread of things from her farm to my farm. So here's the truck is a fomite, the trailer can be a fomite, and then as we walk back towards my goats, we've set up a protocol. So we come over here, and if anybody else wanted to come into my pens, this would be the same procedure. I have set up a really basic foot bath. It has a viricide in it. It's covered just to keep, my dog and whatever out of it. I use a product that is formulated for foot baths, so organic matter doesn't deactivate it as bleach. Bleach is easily deactivated by organic matter, and organic matter is also milk. So don't forget, if you're using bleach to clean like inflations between goats, you need to use a bleach solution test strip that tells you how many parts per million of bleach is still in your solution, and then to be sure to keep it strong enough. So when we get to my foot bath, I have a hose right here, and I spray off my boots to get the big chunks off, right? Step into the bath, spray off big chunks, step into the bath, slosh it over the top of my boot, let it set for a few seconds, then I get out. We also each have separate clothes, like jackets. Fomites, something that people don't remember also is that jackets and hats are really big transmitters because we don't wash them as frequently as our boots. Everybody, I think, thinks about their feet and their hands when we're thinking biosecurity. But think about those things like my Carhartt here that I wear. I don't wear this like if I was going to go visit somebody else's farm, I would wear what I call city clothes that have not ever been in my barn. And I would do the same with my shoes. I have a pair of cowboy boots that I do not wear at all out here. So they've never been on my farm. So if I was going to another farm, I would wear those. If I think I'm going to a farm where I think I'm going to be going into a pen, I would wear these rubber boots, but that's because I can sanitize them. Some things we can do at shows. I use this pump sprayer. Another thing about, if we're going to use bleach in here, I use my viricide in this sprayer. So, you would spray down your pens. If you are going to use a bleach water solution, though, make sure you're pre-wiping the dust and debris off of the pens, because that's organic matter, and you put bleach on dirt and you're just going to get cooties. So, I like those blue paper towels that you can buy at the auto parts store. They're called just towels, shop towels. There we go, shop towels from the auto parts store, because they're pretty durable. And then I'm not bringing home a contaminated towel from a dirty pen at a show, putting it into my horse trailer or my tack box or whatever. So anything that you wipe a pen down. Here's some more fomites, feeders. Got to remember that if you're gonna be putting these for someone else's goats, that you bleach or sanitize them. Buckets, fomites, all these things. Maybe people don't think about it, like water hoses at a show. If you touch another bucket with the hose that's been on the ground, all good things to keep in mind when thinking about biosecurity. So something else to think about with biosecurity, if you are having visitors, like maybe you have your goats in a public place, even at a fair or whatever, people always see the goats and they go, "Oh, goatie, look at the goat, I want to pet the goat." Okay, she pets the goat. "Oh, look at the goat. Oh, good, she just touched that nose of that goat." And then she goes over here, "Oh, look at this goat. Now look, hi goatie, oh look." So you need to, and this is fine within this group because these are all together, but then they're going to take your goat to the next pens and the next pens. So I've seen this and I think it's a great idea. Like if this was a fair, I could strap a little container, out of the goat reach, a container of hand sanitizer or even a small bucket of water with some betadine in it, and provide paper towels and have a sign that says, "If you touch my goats, please wash your hands before touching someone else's goats." Make it educational and explain it to the public. That's what we're supposed to be doing, is educating. And then always provide, because you see those kids, they go and they pick up the straw off the floor at the state fair, off the dirty concrete, and they want to feed that to your goat. So provide a acceptable and clean source of a snack for them to feed your goat, because that is fun, and we want to encourage people to like the goats and enjoy them. But we want to make sure that we are practicing biosecurity if we're having a lot of visitors around. And just some things to keep in mind. I'm doing this video while I'm doing my chores. So just another thing to think about is shows, pens, people coming in and off your farm. Don't let them drive really far back onto your property is what I would say. And also when I have like babies here and we let people come and play with them, I have a little hand washing station that I use. Those 2-gallon water jugs that have a spigot on them? So I just set one of those kind of right where, you can set it anywhere, and provide a bottle of soap and some paper towels, and that way that if somebody's in here playing with my kids and then they want to go pet the big goats or the other goats, that they can wash their hands between herds. It's real simple, something maybe we don't think about, but the biggest thing. And then, for example, when I go do my friend's chores, I do my foot bath, then I go to her place. Then when I come back, I do my foot bath again. So just be aware, think about your travels and moving things back and forth. So let's just cover briefly. Provide a good source of a snack for someone to feed your goat. Educate them to not touch other people's goats, like if we're in a fair situation, or if they do, make sure they wash their hands between herds. Clean your pens when you go to the fair or a show. Make sure there's not a lot of organic matter on the pens before you clean them. And I'm just going to show you briefly the couple of products I use.